I never thought a single envelope could ruin my life, but as I stood in the rain behind the mansion gates, clutching that crumpled letter, I felt something inside me break. My family doesn't approve of you. Take the money and leave her. That's what the letter said. No signature. No explanation. Just a number so big it almost blinded me. I should have laughed. I should have ripped it up. Instead, I kept staring at the shaky handwriting, the handwriting I recognized. Aria's. My wife's. The same woman who once held my face in her hands and whispered that I was the only real thing in her world. I thought she loved me. I thought I mattered. But that letter, it felt like a knife pushed straight into my chest by the person I trusted most. I walked back to our small apartment, drenched to the bone, wondering when everything had gone so wrong. Her cold eyes when I confronted her. The silence after I asked her if the letter was real. It all felt like a nightmare. But the real twist didn't hit me until she said it. It's better if you disappear, Ethan. Those 6 words killed the man I used to be. What Aria didn't know was that the man who walked out the door that night wasn't the same man who'd ever crawl back. I stood in the dim living room, holding the letter with shaking fingers. The words kept echoing in my head. My chest felt tight, like someone had tied a rope around my ribs and kept pulling. When Aria Valtieri finally walked in, her eyes flicked to the letter in my hand. She didn't look surprised. That hurt more than anything. Aria, I said, my voice raw. Tell me this isn't real. She didn't move. Didn't blink. Ethan, we need to talk. That letter, did you write it? I asked. Did you really want me to take money and walk out of your life? Her silence felt like a slap. I stepped closer. Say something. Please. Aria finally exhaled. Maybe we should take a break. A break? I stared at her. After everything? After promising we'd face things together? Her gaze drifted past me. I followed it and saw Valeria Nightrose leaning against the doorway with her usual cold smile. The sight twisted my stomach. Valeria looked like she'd been waiting for this moment. You see? Valeria said softly. Aria is finally doing what's best. The Valtieri family can't let just anyone stay. I clenched my jaw. I'm not just anyone. I'm her husband. Valeria chuckled. A temporary title. I turned back to Aria. Is that how you see me? Temporary? Her lips parted, but no words came out. That silence cut deeper than any answer. I felt something crack inside me. Aria, I whispered, look at me. Do you trust them more than you trust me? She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. Ethan, things are complicated. No, I said. They're only complicated because you let them be. Valeria stepped forward. Enough. Aria made her choice. I shoved the letter toward Aria. Then say it. Tell me you don't want me. Her face tightened, but she still didn't speak. The room felt colder. Smaller. I felt like I was disappearing piece by piece. So that's it, I said. After everything, you choose them. Aria whispered, I'm sorry. Those 2 words finished the job. Whatever was left of my heart collapsed. I swallowed hard, trying to hold myself together. Valeria crossed her arms. This is better for both of you. The Valtieri family always gets what it wants. I glared at her. You don't get to decide my life. She smirked. We already have. My breath shook. I looked at Aria again. Her eyes were glassy, but she didn't reach for me. Didn't fight for me. Didn't even deny the lie written in that awful letter. I grabbed my keys off the table. Fine. If this is what you want. I'll go. Aria flinched, but didn't stop me. That hurt the most. "Ethan," she whispered. I waited. I prayed she would say something, anything, to make me stay. But she didn't. Valeria tilted her head. "Goodbye, Ethan." I didn't answer. I couldn't. My voice felt trapped under all the pain pressing on my chest. I walked to the door, each step heavier than the last. At the doorway, I looked back one final time. Aria stood there, arms wrapped around herself, eyes full of something I couldn't read anymore. Fear? Regret? Or nothing at all? "I would have fought for you," I said quietly. "But I guess you never wanted me to." Aria's breath caught, but again, no words. I stepped out into the hallway. The door closed behind me with a soft click that felt like the end of my entire world. I leaned against the wall, gripping my keys so tightly they dug into my palm. My eyes burned, but I forced the tears back. "I can't believe this," I whispered to myself. "I loved you more than anything." The weight of it all hit me there: anger, heartbreak, betrayal, and something new. Something sharp. A small spark of anger flickered inside me. I didn't trust it yet, but it was there, pushing through the hurt. I walked down the stairs slowly, each step heavy. Outside, the night air hit my face, cold and sharp. I inhaled deeply, trying to steady myself. I felt empty but also strangely awake. If the Valtieri family wanted me gone so badly, there had to be a reason. Something they didn't want me to know. As I walked away from the building, I whispered to myself, "This isn't over." I kept walking, my steps steady, letting the cold night wash over my thoughts. The pain was still there, but beneath it I felt something shifting. I wasn't the same man who walked into that apartment. Something inside me had woken up. I didn't know what would happen next, but I knew one thing: I wouldn't be silent anymore now. The cold night air bit into my skin as I walked with no idea where to go. I kept replaying Aria's voice in my head: "Maybe we should take a break." That line hit harder each time. By the time I reached the old boxing gym on the corner of 9th Street, I felt numb. The sign above the door flickered. I pushed it open and stepped inside. The place smelled like dust and old leather. Only one light was on in the back office. I knocked. "Yeah," a familiar voice called. "It's me," I said. The door swung open, and Rowan Pierce stared at me with wide eyes. "Ethan. What the hell happened to you? You look like you got hit by a truck." "Close enough," I muttered. Rowan stepped aside. "Come in." I walked into the office and sank onto the worn-out couch. Rowan shut the door and crossed his arms. "Talk to me." I stared at my hands. "Aria wants me gone." "What do you mean, gone?" "She told me we should take a break," I said. "Her cousin was there. Her whole family's pushing me out." Rowan let out a low whistle. "Damn. You serious?" "I wish I wasn't." He grabbed a chair and sat in front of me. "Tell me everything. No holding back." So I did. I told him about the letter, Aria's silence, Valeria's smirk. I told him how it felt like my chest was being ripped open. Rowan didn't interrupt. He just listened, leaning forward, eyes locked on me. When I finally finished, he sighed. "Ethan, man, I knew the Valtieri family was intense, but this? This is messed up." "I don't know what to do," I whispered. Rowan shook his head. "First thing. You stay here tonight. No arguments. I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," he said sharply. "Ethan, you're my brother. Sit your ass down and breathe." I tried to smile but couldn't. "I feel like I'm falling apart." "That's because you are," Rowan said. "But I've seen you get back up from worse." "No," I whispered. "Not like this." Rowan leaned closer. "Hey. Look at me. I lifted my head. You weren't always this broken, he said quietly. You used to fight. You used to stand tall. Where's that Ethan? Dead, I said. The hell he is, Rowan snapped. You're hurt. You're angry. But you're not dead. I rubbed my face. It's her, Rowan. I loved her so much. I know, he said. But love should never make you lose yourself. I didn't answer. The silence felt heavy, like another weight on my chest. Rowan leaned back. Listen. I've heard things about her family. Stuff you probably don't know. My eyes opened. Like what? They're powerful, he said. And not just rich powerful. I'm talking influence. Connections. People who owe them favors. People who fear crossing them. I swallowed. Are you saying Aria was forced? I don't know, Rowan said. But I've heard rumors. Threats. Pressure. You think Valeria's just some annoying cousin? No. She's dangerous. All of them are. My stomach twisted. So this wasn't about Aria not loving me? Rowan shrugged. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. But the Valtieri family? They don't let people in. And they sure as hell don't let people stay unless it benefits them. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. I thought I understood her world. You didn't, Rowan said. None of us do. The room went quiet again. My chest felt tight. Rowan stood up. Come on. Get up. Why? I want you to hit something. Rowan, I'm not. Get up. I stood reluctantly as he tossed me a pair of old gloves. Really? Yes, he said. You're drowning in your head. You need to breathe. I sighed and slid the gloves on. Rowan walked over to the old punching bag hanging in the corner. Hit it, he said. I don't want to. That wasn't a request. I threw a weak punch. Harder, Rowan demanded. I hit it again. Harder. Something snapped inside me. I slammed my fist into the bag with everything I had, letting all the pain pour out. Blow after blow, my arms shook, my chest burned, and my throat tightened. I felt tears prick my eyes, but I didn't stop. Rowan stepped back, watching. Good, he said softly. Let it out. I loved her. I yelled as I hit the bag. I gave her everything. Keep going. They didn't even give me a chance. Hit it, Ethan. I punched until my arms went numb. Finally, I leaned against the bag, breathing hard. Sweat dripped down my face. My whole body trembled. Rowan walked up and rested a hand on my shoulder. You're not weak. You're hurting. I nodded, unable to speak. You can stay here as long as you need, he said. But promise me something. What? I whispered. Don't give up, he said. Not on yourself. I closed my eyes. I'll try. That's enough for now, Rowan said. I slumped onto the couch again, exhausted. After a moment, Rowan tossed me a blanket and a bottle of water. As I lay back and stared at the cracked ceiling, one thought echoed in my mind. Her world is darker than I ever knew. And for the first time, I wondered if walking away was safer than staying in it. The hotel lobby looked like a place I had no right to stand in. Gold chandeliers, soft piano music, marble floors so shiny I could see the stress lines on my face. I felt like an unwanted guest the second I walked in. Still, I pushed forward, holding on to the anger burning in my chest. At the top floor, a private lounge waited for me. I stepped inside. Liana Moretti sat at a long table, legs crossed, black folder in her hands. Her eyes were sharp, cold, calculating, like she'd already decided who I was, a problem to erase. Valeria Nightrose stood near the window, staring at the city with a smile that made my skin crawl. Liana looked up. Ethan Crosswell. Thank you for coming. I didn't have a choice, I said. You always have a choice, she replied. Good or bad? Valeria chuckled. In your case, bad. I ignored her and walked to the table. My voice shook. Why am I here? Liana opened the folder. This is a settlement. A clean exit. The Valtieri family is willing to give you a generous amount in exchange for full separation from Aria Valtieri. My jaw tightened. Separation? You mean divorce? Liana nodded slightly. Yes. An amicable one. There's nothing amicable about this. Valeria turned around, smirking. Think of it as a gift, Ethan. I snapped, a gift? You people tore my life apart. Valeria shrugged. We gave you time in her world. More than most ever get. I glared at her. I never asked for money. I never wanted your world. You were in it anyway, she said. And you weren't welcome. My fists curled at my sides. Where's Aria? Liana answered, not Valeria. Not here. She asked us to handle this. I felt my breath catch. She asked you. Liana's eyes flicked toward Valeria, then back to me. She agreed it was the logical solution. That's a lie, I said. Valeria leaned against the table. You keep telling yourself that. But she knew this would happen. You think she didn't see it coming? You don't fit, Ethan. You never did. I wanted to scream. Instead, I forced myself to speak calmly. What did you do to her? Liana sighed. Nothing. But Aria's position in the family requires stability. You complicate things. I'm her husband. Valeria smirked. Temporary. My chest burned. You keep calling me that. Temporary. Like I don't matter. You don't, Valeria said simply. Not to this family. Liana slid the papers toward me. Sign this. Take the money. Walk away. No further issues. I stared at the contract. My name. Aria's name. Clean lines cutting our lives apart. Liana's voice was cool. The amount is very generous. Enough to start over comfortably. I don't want your money, I whispered. Valeria laughed softly. Of course you do. People like you always do. People like me? I asked. Yes, she said. Ordinary. Replaceable. Her words hit harder than any punch I ever took. Liana tapped the folder. We're offering you the smartest path, Ethan. The safest one. Safe from what? I asked. Neither answered. A cold feeling spread across my spine. What are you threatening me with? Liana folded her hands. We're not threatening you. We're preventing complications. Valeria chuckled. Especially the kind that end badly. I stared at the paper again, my heart beat loud in my ears. They wanted me gone. They wanted me erased like a mistake. My voice cracked. Does Aria really want this? Valeria smiled. She agreed. She said the same thing the night she told you to leave, Liana added. You should trust her actions. Something inside me shattered. But behind the pain, something else rose. Anger. Fire. A voice telling me to stop letting these people talk like they owned me. I stood up slowly. You think you can buy me? That's what the contract is, Liana said. A transaction. Valeria's smile widened. Sign it, Ethan. Do one smart thing. My hands shook, but not from fear. I grabbed the papers. Liana watched calmly, thinking I was giving in. I tore the contract in half. Both women froze. I ripped the halves again. And again. Let the pieces fall to the floor like ash. Valeria's voice cracked. What do you think you're doing? I stepped toward her. I said no. Liana stood. You're making a mistake. No, I said. You made the mistake thinking I would bow. Valeria pointed a shaking finger at me. You can't refuse us. You can't refuse the Valtieri family. I just did. Liana's expression shifted, cold, calculating, deadly. Ethan, you don't understand what you've started. Then explain it, I said. She didn't. That silence told me everything. There was danger here. Real danger. And I had just stepped into the center of it. I leaned closer to Valeria. You want me gone so badly? Why? What are you hiding from me? She looked away. I smirked slightly. Thought so. I walked toward the door. Liana's voice followed me. Ethan Crosswell, you will regret this. I didn't turn around. Maybe. But not as much as you'll regret underestimating me. I left the room with my heart pounding and my jaw clenched. They wanted me erased. They wanted me silent. They wanted me out of Aria's life without knowing why. Now I needed to know the truth. And I wasn't backing down. Not anymore. When Rowan told me he knew someone who could dig into the Valtieri family, I didn't expect to end up in a cramped apartment full of humming computers and dim blue lights. I stepped inside and felt like I'd walked into another world. Soren Whitlock sat at a desk piled with wires and screens. He barely looked up when we entered. Rowan cleared his throat. Soren, this is Ethan. Soren pushed his glasses up. The husband causing all the trouble. I felt my jaw clench. If asking for the truth is trouble, then yeah. Rowan nudged me. Relax. He talks like that to everyone. Soren typed something quickly, fingers moving like they were trained to ignore the world. Rowan says you want information on the Valtieris. I need it, I said. They're trying to erase me. Soren finally turned his chair toward me. His eyes were sharp, unreadable. Why should I help you? I blinked. What? People usually want to spy out of greed or revenge. You look like someone who still loves the person he lost. Rowan stepped in. Soren. No, I said quietly. He's right. Soren studied me. Then say it. I took a long breath. I love Aria. But I don't know who she is anymore. I don't know why she pushed me away. I need the truth. Soren held my stare for a moment, then nodded. Fine. Sit. Rowan and I moved closer as Soren pulled up files, maps, documents, names I didn't recognize. The screens glowed across his face. Soren spoke as he worked. The Valtieri family isn't just wealthy. They run a corporate empire, finance, tech, security, pharmaceuticals. Their influence is everywhere. I knew they were rich, I said. But this? You didn't know the half of it. Soren glanced at me. Aria Valtieri isn't just another daughter. She's next in line. Future head of the dynasty. My breath caught. No. She never said that. Rowan folded his arms. Would you believe her if she did? I shook my head slowly. I don't know. Soren clicked a few keys. Look here. A photo filled the screen. Aria stood in a boardroom, surrounded by older executives. Her face looked colder, harder, almost like a stranger. I whispered, when was this taken? 2 months ago, Soren said. That can't be right. 2 months ago I stopped. My voice felt tight. She told me she was traveling for charity. Rowan let out a low sigh. She lied to protect you. Or to protect herself. Anger twisted in my chest. Why hide something like this from me? Soren shrugged. Because her world doesn't mix with yours. That's not a reason, I said. It is for them, Soren replied. The Valtieris live in power struggles. Enemies. High-stakes politics. They marry for security, not love. I felt sick. So she married down. Rowan stepped closer. Ethan. No, I said. I need to hear it. Soren continued typing. To them, yes. You're not someone they can control or use. That makes you a risk. The truth hit like a punch. She married beneath her world, and they punished her for it. Possibly, Soren said. But there's more. He opened another file. Documents filled the screen. Rowan whispered, what is all that? Threats, Soren said. Blackmail. Business rivals. Someone wants the Valtieri empire weakened. Aria is the easiest target. I felt my stomach twist. So they pushed me out to protect her. Or to protect themselves, Soren said. Your existence tied her down. Made her vulnerable. I slammed my hand on the desk before I could stop myself. I wasn't a weakness. Rowan grabbed my arm. Ethan, hey, breathe. I pulled back, chest tight. She treated me like a stranger. Like I meant nothing. Maybe she had to, Rowan said. I shook my head. I don't believe that. Soren leaned back. Believe what you want, but I'll tell you this, Aria Valtieri didn't push you away for simple reasons. Her world has layers. Secrets. Rules that don't bend. She's trapped in it. Silence wrapped around us. I whispered, I hate that I still love her. Rowan placed a hand on my shoulder. You're human. No, I said. I'm a fool. Soren crossed his arms. You are someone who wants answers. That doesn't make you a fool. I faced him. Then help me. If there's something bigger, something she couldn't say. I need to know. Soren hesitated. Diving deeper is dangerous. So am I when I've lost everything. Rowan nodded at Soren. He won't back down. Soren sighed. Fine. I'll keep digging. But once you go down this path, you can't turn back. I'm already past the point of turning back. He nodded. Then you'll hear from me soon. Rowan motioned toward the door. Come on, Ethan. Let him work. I followed Rowan out into the hallway. My mind spun with images, Aria standing in boardrooms, Aria under pressure, Aria lying with trembling hands. Ethan, Rowan said softly, you okay? No, I answered. But I'm done being blind. Rowan nodded. Good. It's time you started fighting again. As we stepped into the cold night, I looked up at the sky and felt something shift inside me. I didn't know if Aria pushed me away out of fear or out of duty. But I knew one thing for sure. I was going to find out the truth. Even if it destroyed me. I wasn't supposed to be at the charity gala. I only went because Rowan said the Valtieri family wouldn't expect it. But when I walked through the glass doors and saw the chandeliers hanging like frozen stars, my chest tightened. This was Aria's world, elegant, polished, impossible. And then I saw her. Aria Valtieri stood near the center of the room in a silver gown, talking to investors with that calm, perfect smile she always used in public. But when her eyes met mine, everything inside me stopped. She froze. I whispered, Aria. Her lips parted. Ethan. What are you doing here? Before I could answer, Mira Aoshima stepped between us. Aria, we should go. Now. I stared at Mira. Nice to see you too. Mira frowned. This isn't the place for you. I didn't come to make a scene, I said. I just want to talk. Aria looked torn, really torn, for the first time since the night she told me to leave. Her hands shook slightly as she whispered to Mira, give us a moment. Mira leaned closer to her. Are you sure? Your family. I said a moment, Aria said softly. Mira stepped back with a worried look but didn't go far. Aria swallowed. Ethan, you shouldn't be here. I took a step toward her. Why? Afraid I'll ruin the image they built for you? She winced. Don't say that. You told me to disappear, I whispered. Now you're acting like you care. I didn't, she stopped, lowering her eyes. It's complicated. No, I said. You keep using that word like it's an excuse. I just want the truth. Aria's breath trembled. You think I don't feel anything? You think any of this is easy for me? It looked easy the night you told me to walk away. She looked at me with pain in her eyes, but her voice stayed quiet. I had to. Why? I demanded. Her mask cracked. Just a little, but enough for me to see the fear behind it. I can't tell you, she whispered. Then let me guess, I said. Your family forced you. Threatened you. Manipulated you until you felt trapped. Isn't that it? Her eyes widened. That was my answer. I knew it, I said. They're the ones trying to erase me. Mira suddenly walked back to us. Aria, this is dangerous. I glared at her. Dangerous for who? For me. Or for the Valtieri name? Mira sighed. Ethan, you need to understand. No, I cut in. I'm done understanding. I want answers. Aria shook her head. You're making this harder. Good, I said. Because it shouldn't be easy to throw me away. Her shoulders slumped, and for a moment she looked human again. Not the perfect heiress. Not the icy figure who pushed me aside. Just Aria, the woman who once held my hand like it meant something. She whispered, I didn't want to hurt you. But you did, I said. Every step of the way. Mira stepped forward. Ethan, listen to me. She isn't choosing them. She's being cornered. Aria shot her a sharp look. Mira. No, Mira said. He deserves to know something. Anything. I stared at Aria. Is that true? Aria closed her eyes. Yes. My chest tightened. So you pushed me away to protect me? She opened her eyes. There it was, the regret, the fear, the love she tried so hard to hide. It flickered like a dying flame. Yes, she whispered. My heart twisted. Then why didn't you tell me? I asked. Because if I did, Aria said, they would have punished you. Or worse. I couldn't risk it. Mira nodded. The Valtieri family doesn't tolerate weakness. Loving someone outside their circle. That's seen as a weakness. I clenched my teeth. So I'm a weakness. To them, Mira said. Not to her. Aria looked at me with trembling eyes. I thought leaving you was the only way to keep you safe. I felt anger and love collide violently in my chest. You should have trusted me. I did, she whispered. Too much. I shook my head. You're lying to yourself. She stepped back, pain crossing her face. You don't understand. Then help me, I said. Let me understand. Aria glanced around the room nervously. I can't talk here. Then come with me, I whispered. Her eyes softened, then hardened again. I can't. They're watching. Let them watch. No, she said. You don't know what they're capable of. Mira touched her arm. Aria, we need to go before someone notices. Aria looked at me as if she were begging me for something I couldn't name. Ethan, she whispered, please don't follow me tonight. My chest cracked open. You're asking me to let you walk away again. Her voice broke. For now. Mira pulled her gently. Aria, come on. Aria hesitated, just long enough to make my heart ache, before turning away. I called out, Aria. She stopped but didn't turn around. I whispered, I still love you. Her shoulders shook. Just once. Then she walked away, disappearing into the crowd of glittering strangers. I stood there alone, feeling like the entire gala was closing in around me. Mira walked past me and whispered, don't give up on her. She never stopped loving you. She's just trapped. Trapped by who? I asked. Mira sighed. By everyone. And then she followed Aria into the sea of elegant masks and bright lies, leaving me standing in the dark corner of the brightest room in the city. For the first time, I realized something terrifying. Aria didn't leave me because she wanted to. She left me because she was scared. And that changed everything. I had barely slept since the gala. Aria's voice kept replaying in my head, soft but full of fear, please don't follow me tonight. I tried to ignore the warning, but my chest felt heavier every hour. I left Rowan's gym early the next morning to clear my head. The streets were quiet. Too quiet. Then a black car pulled up beside me. The door opened. Valeria Nightrose stepped out in a dark coat, her cold smile slicing through the morning air. Hello again, Ethan. My stomach tightened. What do you want now? Oh, not me. She flicked her hand toward the car. Someone wants to speak with you. A man got out. Tall, sharp jaw, dark eyes, hands in his pockets. Dante Morello. I had seen him once or twice at Valtieri events, always standing in the shadows. He wasn't a brute, but something about him felt dangerous, quiet dangerous. Calculated dangerous. He nodded at me. Ethan Crosswell. I swallowed. Dante. Valeria smirked. Dante has a message. I don't need a message from you, I said. I'm done being bullied. Still stubborn, Valeria said, amused. Cute. Dante stepped closer. Walk with me. I clenched my fists. Why should I? Because this is a conversation you don't want to have in front of strangers. I hesitated, but something in his tone wasn't a threat, it was a warning. A real one. I exhaled. Fine. We walked down the sidewalk while Valeria stayed behind, watching like a hawk. Dante finally spoke. You were seen at the gala. And? Someone noticed. Who? I asked. He didn't answer. I stared at him. Was it Aria? His silence told me everything, and nothing. Dante finally said, the family believes your presence is disruptive. I'm her husband, I snapped. Not a criminal. Doesn't matter, Dante replied calmly. They want distance. They want peace. They don't want complications. I laughed bitterly. I'm the complication now. You always were, he said softly. My anger surged. I didn't ask for this. No, Dante said. But you stepped into their world when you married Aria Valtieri. And her world has rules. And the rule is what? That she suffers alone. That she gets pushed around while her family ruins everything she touches. Dante's jaw tightened. Watch your words. No, I said. I'm tired of watching everything. We reached an empty alley. Dante stopped and faced me. Listen. I'm not here to hurt you. Then why are you here? To give you one chance to walk away safely. I already walked away once, I said. It destroyed me. And going back will destroy you more. I shook my head. I don't believe that. You should, Dante said. They won't tolerate you interfering again. My chest tightened. So what? They'll buy me off. Threaten me. Kill me. Dante didn't flinch. I didn't say that. But you didn't deny it either. He looked away as if choosing his next words carefully. Valeria wants you gone. Permanently gone. I swallowed hard. And you? I don't care about you, Dante said. I care about order. Peace. If you stay out of Aria's path, things calm down. Calm down for who? I asked. Her or them? He sighed. Both. No, I said. Not both. Aria's miserable. I saw it in her eyes. That doesn't matter. It does to me. Dante studied me for a long moment. You really love her. I never stopped. He rubbed the back of his neck. Then you need to understand something. Aria doesn't have choices. Not real ones. When she told you to walk away, she wasn't speaking for herself. I froze. Say that again. Dante shook his head. I said enough. No, I said. Tell me. Was she forced? Threatened? Pressured? He didn't answer. His silence felt like confirmation. I knew it, I whispered. That letter I got, she didn't write it willingly, did she? Dante's jaw clenched, but his eyes said yes even when his mouth stayed shut. I stepped closer. Tell me the truth. Ethan, he said, truth won't save you. I don't need saving, I said. I need answers. Dante lowered his voice. Then you're going to get hurt. I already am, I said. But if they want me gone so badly, there's a reason. And I'm going to find it. He shook his head. You're rushing toward fire. Then let me burn, I said. Dante stared at me, something like respect flickering in his eyes. I warned you. Don't say I didn't. Why warn me at all? I asked. Because, he said quietly, I don't like watching good people get crushed for no reason. My breath caught. So you do think I'm a good person? He shrugged. Good enough. We walked back toward Valeria. She raised an eyebrow. Well? Did he finally understand? Dante looked at me, then at her. He heard the message. Valeria smirked. And? Dante said nothing. I stepped forward. I'm not leaving Aria alone. Valeria's smile vanished. You really enjoy making enemies, don't you? I stared right at her. No. I enjoy telling the truth. She scoffed. You're making a mistake. I've made plenty, I said. This isn't one of them. Valeria's eyes darkened. You will regret this, Ethan Crosswell. Dante touched her arm lightly. Let it go, Valeria. She pulled back, furious, but the two of them returned to the car. Dante gave me one last look, warning, maybe pity, before the door closed. The car drove away, leaving me standing alone in the cold street. My chest hurt, but not from fear. From clarity. Aria didn't push me away by choice. She was pushed. Forced. And I wasn't backing down now. Not when the truth was finally within reach. I didn't expect Soren Whitlock to call me at 2 a.m. His voice came through the phone sharp and urgent. Ethan, he said, get to my place. Now. My chest tightened. What did you find? Everything. I didn't even hang up properly. I just grabbed my jacket and ran through the cold streets until I reached his apartment. When I burst in, Soren was already sitting in front of his screens, eyes wide behind his glasses, fingers tapping non-stop. He didn't look at me when I walked in. Close the door. I shut it. Soren, talk to me. I hacked deeper than I should have, he said. Into Valtieri private servers. My heart dropped. And you need to sit. I didn't sit. I moved closer until I stood right behind him. Show me. He clicked a folder. Dozens of emails popped up, Aria's name everywhere. Messages she wrote. Messages about me. Messages begging her family to leave me alone. My throat tightened. What is all this? Soren spoke quietly. It's proof. Proof of what? That Aria tried to protect you. My whole body went numb. He opened a specific email. Aria's writing. Her words. Not a lie, not a cover, not anything forced. He's not a threat. Leave him alone. This isn't fair. I swallowed hard. No, I can't. Read more, Soren said. Another message appeared. Sent to Valeria Nightrose. Threatening him will only make things worse. Stop involving him. Next. If you force me to, I'll do what you want. Just leave Ethan out of this. My breath broke. She begged them. Yes, Soren said softly. She tried everything. Then why send me that letter? Why push me away? Why say it was better if I disappeared? Soren clicked the last file. A video. I froze. It showed Aria sitting in a dark room, shoulders shaking, Valeria standing behind her with a cold stare. Valeria's voice echoed through the speakers. Write it. Or he gets hurt. Aria's voice was barely a whisper. Please, don't do this. Write it. Aria lifted a pen with trembling hands. My hands shook. My chest burned. I felt like the floor was falling out from under me. Soren paused the video. They forced her. I stepped back, feeling like I couldn't breathe. I thought she abandoned me. I thought she stopped loving me. She didn't, Soren said. They cornered her. Anger heated behind my eyes. For me. Because of you, he corrected. They believed you made her weak. I clenched my fists so hard my knuckles cracked. Weak? She was strong enough to sacrifice everything. Soren looked at me carefully. Ethan, what are you thinking? I'm thinking, I said slowly, that I blamed her for something she never wanted. And now? Now I need to fix it. Before Soren could answer, a soft knock came at the door. Soren stiffened. That's not good. I stepped forward cautiously. Who is it? It's me, a voice whispered. Mira. Open up. My heart jumped. I unlocked the door. Mira Ayashima slipped inside quickly, pulling her hood down, eyes darting around the apartment like she expected someone to follow her. I frowned. Mira. What are you? She held up a hand. Lock it. Please. I shut the door. Mira, what's going on? She turned to me, eyes full of worry. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be digging into this. Too late, Soren said from behind me. Mira sighed. I figured. I stepped closer. Mira, I saw the emails. The video. Aria never wanted to leave me. Her eyes softened. No. She didn't. My voice cracked. Why didn't she tell me the truth? Because she couldn't, Mira whispered. The family had eyes everywhere. If she slipped once, if she even hinted that she still loved you, they would have gone after you harder. I can protect myself. Mira shook her head. Not from them. They're not normal enemies. They destroy things quietly. Legally. Socially. Financially. I don't care, I said. I won't let her get crushed alone. Mira looked at me for a long moment. She loved you too much, Ethan. My chest tightened. Then why did she pretend she didn't? Because that was her only way to save you. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Crushing. Mira stepped closer. When she wrote that letter, her hands were shaking so badly she could barely hold the pen. Soren muttered, I saw. Mira nodded. She cried for hours afterward. I pressed my palms against my eyes, trying to steady myself. I hated her for that letter. I thought she chose them over me. She chose you, Mira whispered. She chose your life over her heart. I lowered my hands. Then I'm done letting her bleed alone. Mira studied me. You're serious. More than serious, I said. I'm done running. I'm done believing their lies. I'm going to find her. I'm going to tell her she doesn't have to do this alone. Mira hesitated. If you go to her now, you could make things worse. Or, I said, I could finally give her something to hold on to. Soren leaned back in his chair. This is suicide. It's love, I said. Mira closed her eyes briefly. Then let me help you. I stared. You'd betray the family for her. Mira gave a sad smile. I'd betray anyone who chains her down. I felt something fierce ignite in my chest, anger, love, guilt, fire. I won't let her sacrifice herself, I said. Not anymore. Mira nodded. Then the real war starts now. And for the first time, I didn't feel fear. I felt purpose. It took everything in me not to run to Aria that night. I waited until morning, until the city softened under pale sunlight. My heart beat like a warning drum the entire way to her family's private garden terrace. I knew she'd be there. She always went there when she was hurting. And she was hurting now. Because of me. Because of them. When I stepped onto the terrace, Aria Valtieri stood near the railing, arms wrapped around herself, looking smaller than I had ever seen her. She turned at the sound of my footsteps. Her breath caught. Ethan. I swallowed. We need to talk. Her eyes filled instantly. You shouldn't be here. I saw the emails, I said. The video. Her face went white. No. Ethan. I know the truth, I whispered. All of it. Her body trembled. Please, please go before someone. No, I took a step closer. Not this time. She pressed a hand to her mouth, tears slipping down her cheeks before she could stop them. I whispered, Aria, look at me. She finally lifted her eyes. They were full of guilt, fear, and something that broke me entirely, love. I wrote the letter, she whispered, voice cracking. But my hands, they wouldn't stop shaking. I moved closer. Because you didn't want to. I thought they were going to hurt you, she cried. Valeria said she'd ruin your life if I disobeyed. She said you'd be safer if you hated me. I shook my head. You should have told me. I couldn't, she whispered. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Her shoulders shook as she cried, and for the first time since everything fell apart, I saw my Aria again, the woman who laughed into my chest late at night, who held my hand like it was the safest place in the world. I stepped closer. You didn't lose me, Aria. You just didn't trust me to stay. She sobbed softly. I was terrified. Of them? She shook her head. Of losing you. My heart cracked wide open. I reached out, gently touching her hand. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Before she could answer, the terrace door slammed open. Valeria Nightrose stormed in, heels clicking like gunshots. Her eyes burned when she saw Aria holding my hand. "What do you think you're doing?" Valeria snapped. Aria flinched. I stood in front of her. Valeria scoffed. "Of course. Playing the hero again." I glared at her. "Someone has to. You had one job," Valeria hissed at Aria. "Stay away from him. You ruined everything." Aria stepped forward. "I don't care anymore." "Yes," Valeria said coldly, "you do. Because what happens next will." "Valeria," a voice called sharply behind me. Rowan Pierce stepped onto the terrace with fire in his eyes. He must have followed me. Or maybe he already knew things would explode. Valeria snarled. "What is he doing here?" Rowan crossed his arms. "Stopping you from threatening my friend." I felt a rush of relief. "Rowan." He nudged my shoulder. "I've got your back." Valeria's gaze shifted between us. "You're both making a mistake. The Valtieri family doesn't tolerate." "I don't care what your family tolerates," I cut in. "You won't control Aria's life anymore. Or mine." Valeria laughed sharply. "You think you can stop us? You're nothing." "Maybe I was nothing to you," I said. "But not to her." Aria stepped beside me, gripping my arm. "Valeria, stop. I'm done letting you speak for me." Valeria stared at her in disbelief. "Aria, you don't know what you're doing." "I do," Aria said, wiping her tears. "I'm choosing him." Valeria's eyes blazed. "You're ruining everything our family built." "No," Aria said. "I'm saving something I can't replace." Valeria took a step forward, fury twisting her face. "You will regret this." Rowan stepped between us. "Touch either of them, and you'll deal with me." Valeria glared at him, but Rowan didn't flinch. I whispered to Aria, "Are you sure?" She turned to me, eyes softening. "I'm tired of being afraid." Valeria's voice rose. "Enough. Aria, come with me now." "No," Aria said firmly. For the first time ever, Valeria froze. Aria reached for my hand again and held it like she needed it to breathe. I squeezed back. Valeria whispered, "You're choosing him, over us?" Aria nodded. "Yes." Valeria shook her head slowly. "You're a fool, Aria Valtieri." Rowan stepped forward. "Get out." Valeria glared one last time at me, then Aria, then stormed out, slamming the door so hard the glass rattled. Silence fell over the terrace. Aria turned to me slowly, tears still running down her cheeks. "Ethan. I can't lose you again." I cupped her face gently. "You won't." She closed her eyes and whispered, voice trembling, "I don't want to lose you again." I pulled her into me, and she broke completely, crying into my chest. I held her like she was the most fragile thing in the world, because she was. Because she had been breaking alone for too long. Rowan quietly stepped back, giving us space. "I'll guard the door," he said. Aria clung to me, her breath shaky, her voice weak. "I thought pushing you away would save you. And I thought walking away would hurt less," I said. "We were both wrong." She looked up at me, eyes full of broken hope. "So what do we do now?" I brushed a tear from her cheek. "Now. We fight. Together." Her fingers tightened around mine, and for the first time since the world fell apart, I felt her choose me, not out of fear, not out of duty, but out of love. And this time, I believed her. I didn't sleep the night before. My mind was full of Aria's broken voice on the terrace, the way she held my hand like she was afraid I'd vanish again. This time, I wasn't going anywhere. By morning, I was at Soren's apartment again. He sat in front of the screens, tired but focused. He glanced at me. "You sure about this, Ethan?" "Yes," I said. "I'm done hiding." Soren tapped a key. "Then we expose them." I took a breath. "All of them?" Before Soren could answer, someone knocked on the door. The knock wasn't aggressive, it was controlled, steady. Soren frowned. "That's not good." I opened the door anyway. Dante Morello stood there, hands in his pockets, eyes unreadable. I stiffened. "Here to drag me off to Valeria?" "No," Dante said. "I'm here to help." Soren nearly choked. "Help? You?" Dante walked inside calmly. "I'm tired, Ethan." "Tired?" I repeated. "Of Valeria's power games. Of her treating Aria like a pawn. Of her acting like the family name lets her control everyone." He exhaled. "I'm done being her weapon." I studied him. "So why come to me?" "Because you're the only one fighting for Aria," Dante said. "Everyone else fights for the name." My chest tightened. "Then help us bring that name down." He nodded once. "Tell me what you need." Soren turned to his screens. "I found evidence of financial threats, illegal pressure, blackmail. It's bad. The board won't be able to cover it up if we confront them in person." "In person?" I asked. "Yes," Soren said. "If you show them anonymously, they'll bury it. If you face them, they'll have to act." Dante crossed his arms. "The board won't expect you. They'll expect Aria to obey. Not to stand beside you." "She will," I said. "She chooses me now." Dante gave a faint smile. "Then you'll need her there. And you'll need me." I nodded once. "Then let's do it." The Valtieri corporate tower felt like walking into the heart of a beast. Glass walls. Marble floors. People who looked at me like I didn't belong. But I wasn't alone. Aria Valtieri walked beside me, shoulders squared, eyes steady despite the fear I could feel radiating off her. "Ethan," she whispered, "you don't have to." I took her hand. "I do." She squeezed my fingers, gratitude shining through her fear. Behind us, Dante walked with quiet determination. Soren followed, clutching a thin folder like it was a weapon. When we reached the boardroom, Valeria Nightrose was already there. She froze when she saw us, when she saw Aria walking hand in hand with me. Her voice sharpened instantly. "Aria. Step away from him." Aria didn't move. Valeria's eyes flared. I said. Aria cut her off. "I'm not afraid of you anymore." For the first time, Valeria looked stunned. I stepped forward. "We're here to speak to the board." Valeria laughed bitterly. "You think you can?" The door opened. Several board members filtered in, older men and women, all with cold eyes and stiff posture. They sat around a long table. One of them, a gray-haired man, looked at Aria. "What is this?" Aria lifted her chin. "This is the truth." The board murmured among themselves. I stepped to the center of the room, Soren by my side. "You've destroyed people to keep your empire clean. You used threats, lies, and fear to break Aria. And you tried to push me out of her life." A woman on the board scoffed. "You are nothing to this family." I met her stare. "I'm the husband your people tried to erase." Aria stepped beside me. "And I'm the heir you tried to control." Valeria rose from her chair sharply. "Enough." Dante grabbed her arm. Hard. "Sit down, Valeria." She whipped around. "You dare." "Yes," Dante said. "I'm done being your shadow." The board stared as Soren opened his folder and placed several printed emails and screenshots onto the table. "These," Soren said calmly, our internal communications showing threats made toward Ethan Crosswell. Forced coercion. Emotional blackmail. One board member leaned forward. "This can't be real." "It is," Soren said. Another member frowned. "Who authorized these actions?" Everyone looked at Valeria. Her face twisted. "You fools, he manipulated everything." I repeated. "The emails have your signature." Valeria's eyes darted wildly. Aria faced her cousin, voice trembling but strong. "You hurt Ethan because you thought I loved him too much. You called me weak. But you're the one who broke our family." Valeria hissed, "I was protecting you." "No," Aria said. "You were protecting your power." The board members exchanged looks, serious, cold, unreadable. Dante stepped forward. "They deserve to choose without your interference." One of the oldest board members spoke. "Valeria Nightrose, pending investigation, you are suspended from all duties." Valeria's mouth fell open. "You can't." "We just did." She glared at me with venom. "This isn't over." I stepped closer. "It is for you." Security approached her. She jerked away but eventually left the room shaking with anger. When the door shut, silence took over. Aria exhaled shakily. "Ethan, we did it." "No," I said, turning to her. "You did it. You stood up." She looked at me, tears gathering. "I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry I broke us." I took her hands. "We're not broken. We just got lost." She blinked hard. "Ethan. I don't want to lose you again." I pulled her into me, holding her close. "You won't." Dante nodded quietly. Soren let out a relieved sigh. I looked down at Aria as she leaned into my chest. For the first time, I didn't feel like the man who walked away in the rain. I felt like someone who finally chose to fight. And I wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. When the board's decision spread through the Valtieri Tower, it felt like the whole city exhaled. Valeria Nightrose was stripped of her power. The family's grip loosened. And Aria. Aria finally stood without chains around her wrists. We walked out of the building hand in hand, sunlight hitting her face like she hadn't seen it in years. She looked up at me, eyes still full of shock and relief. "Ethan," she whispered, "is it really over?" I squeezed her hand. "The worst part?" "Yeah. It's over." She let out a breath that sounded like a sob she'd been holding for months. "Thank you," she whispered. "For what?" "For not giving up on me when everyone else did." I touched her cheek gently. "You never gave up on me either. You just didn't get the chance to fight." She leaned into my hand, her voice soft. "Then let me fight now." I didn't answer with words. I just kissed her forehead, and she closed her eyes. We didn't go to any mansion. No glass towers. No luxury penthouses. We went back to the small apartment where everything fell apart. When I opened the door, Aria stepped inside slowly, like she was walking through ghosts. She looked around at the old couch, the cracked paint, the tiny kitchen. Her voice cracked. "I hurt you in this place. And we heal in this place," I said. She turned toward me, tears forming again. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm so sorry. I thought losing you would save you. I thought pushing you away would protect you." I stepped closer. "No more apologizing." "But I need to," she whispered. "That letter, the things I said, they weren't me. They were fear. They were them." I cupped her face gently. "Aria, it's done. We're here. That's what matters." She leaned her forehead against mine. "I love you." My chest tightened. "I love you too." A soft knock broke the moment. Aria stepped back as I opened the door. Rowan Pierce grinned at me with tired eyes. So. You actually survived. I laughed weakly. Barely. He stepped inside and eyed Aria. Good to see you again. Without the ice-cold murder stare. Aria flushed. I was under a lot of pressure. Rowan shrugged. Hey, no judgment. If my family acted like that, I'd probably go insane. She let out a shaky laugh. Maybe I already did. Rowan looked at me, expression softening. I'm proud of you, Ethan. I blinked. Proud? Yeah. He poked my chest. This? Standing up for yourself. Fighting back. That's the guy I remember. The one who kept getting up even when life sucked. I swallowed hard. I wouldn't have done it without you. Damn right, Rowan smirked. I carried you emotionally, mentally, and probably physically at least once. Aria smiled. Thank you, Rowan. For helping him, and for helping me. He shook his head. I didn't do much. You two did the hard part. I stepped closer to Rowan. You're family to me. He clapped my shoulder. And don't forget it. We stood there, the three of us, in the tiny apartment that had once been filled with heartbreak. Now it felt different, lighter somehow, warmer. Rowan stretched. All right. I'll leave you two lovebirds alone before I puke. Aria laughed softly. Goodbye, Rowan. Later, he said, heading out. If you need backup again, you know where to find me. The door closed. Silence filled the room. Aria turned to me slowly. Ethan, can we talk? I nodded. Always. She sat on the couch, hands trembling slightly. I sat next to her, waiting. She took a shaky breath. I'm walking away from the inheritance. I stared at her. Aria, are you sure? Yes. She looked into my eyes. All that money, all that power, it didn't protect me. It trapped me. And it almost destroyed you. Your family won't like it, I said. I don't care anymore. She took my hand. I want a life with you. Not a life under their control. I squeezed her fingers. This won't be easy. I know. But I'd rather struggle with you than be rich without you. My heart felt full. Heavy and full and alive. I whispered, I missed you. Aria leaned her head on my shoulder. I missed me too. We sat in silence for a moment, listening to the soft hum of the city outside. She lifted her head slightly. Ethan? Yeah. Who are you now? After all this? I thought about the question. I thought about the man who walked away in the rain. The man who felt worthless. Broken. Disposable. And then I thought about the man who stood in front of the Valtieri board, unshaking, unafraid. I'm someone who learned to fight, I said softly. Aria smiled through her tears. For me. For us, I said. And for myself. She kissed me, soft, trembling, real. When she pulled back, she whispered, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve what you went through, I replied. But we're here now. And I'm not letting go. Her fingers curled into my shirt. Promise? Promise. She exhaled shakily and rested her head against my chest. I wrapped my arms around her. The broken apartment felt like home again. Because home wasn't walls. It was her. It was the man I became because of her. It was the love we refused to let die. And as I held Aria in that tiny room where we once shattered, I knew the truth. Heartbreak didn't destroy me. It forged me. And choosing to fight, choosing us, saved us both.